Good day, Nigerians, fellow Nigerians. I want to discuss two topics with you on this video. The first one is the desecration of Yoruba tradition and custom by Chief Ọbasanjọ at Iseyin recently. The second topic is on the statement of Professor Bolaji Akinyemi to the effect that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is suffering from the poor and bad leadership of the past administration. So, in other words, Professor Akinyemi was saying that it is not justifiable, it is unfair for any Nigerian of good conscience to shift or heap the blames of the current economic hardship on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But let us start with Chief Ọbasanjọ. What Chief Ọbasanjọ did at Iseyin, where he was asking the traditional rulers to stand up for him as former president, is not only condemnable, it is also a serious humiliation, psychological humiliation of the traditional rulers involved, and also a sacrilege and desecration of Yoruba tradition. And I want to say that this attitude is condemnable and should be condemned and is hereby condemned. Leaders should not demand respect. Leaders command respect. Respect is reciprocal. It is unthinkable that former President Olusegun Obasanjo can go to the ridiculous level of reducing the traditional rulers to soldiers or puppies in primary school, asking them stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, to respect him, to recognize him, to give him recognition. No. I think former president should know that no. This is too much. It is a dirty slap on the tradition of Yoruba race, and I think Yorubas should demand unreserved apologies from former President Olusegun Obasanjo. He is not going to be the only one to apologize. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde is also an accomplice in this historical crime against Yoruba tradition. And also in law, the action of an agent is the action of his principal. One should wonder why Governor Makinde should invite President Olusegun Obasanjo to come and commission a project. It is an open, it is a matter for debate. Granted that, well, he has been invited. When he was ridiculing the traditional rulers, Seyi Makinde should have intervened. That you don't wash your dirty linen in public. Obasanjo failed to remember. He remembered history of Chief Bode Thomas and Alaafin Adeniran Adeyemi second in 1953. When Bode Thomas became the council chairman of Oyo Division is now the present Oyo and Osun State. He became the council chairman, and he was coming for the first time, resuming office. All traditional rulers stood up to honor him, and he noticed that Alaafin Adeniran, probably the eldest among the Obas and the most senior, was seated. Bode Thomas had to, rudely shouted on Alaafin that why was he sitting? Why can't he stand up to honor him? Then Alaafin asked him, am I the one you are shouting on like this? Chief Bode Thomas repeated another abusive and insultive language. Then, he saw the repercussion. I'm very sure Chief Olusegun Obasanjo wouldn't have done what he did at the saying if the immediate past Alaafin Oyo Oba Lamidi Adeyemi was at the event. He couldn't have done it if we had late Ṣọ̀ún Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́ seated. Could he have done it if we had the late Olúbàdàn Ọba Adétúnjí Ògúngúlùsọ, Ajé Ògúngúlùsọ? Could he have done that? Asking them to stand up to recognize you? No insult could be greater than this to Yoruba race. Obasanjo, by his position, should have applied, native intelligence to find out if there was anything wrong. Why the traditional rulers, remained seated while he was, because they knew that Obasanjo was no longer in power. He was no longer the president of the Federal Republic. So demanding for protocol wouldn't have arisen. Did Obasanjo know or find out how how they were treated? They were being treated by Governor Seyi Makinde in Oyo State. Did he know whether or not they received their salaries regularly? Did Obasanjo care to know how they even transported themselves to that saying function? Did Obasanjo know whether government was responsible for fueling of their vehicles or maintenance of their vehicles, maintenance of their palaces? Now you came in public asking Obas to was sort of asking them to prostrate for you. This is uncalled for and is unacceptable. And we Yorubas, we are condemning Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, and I am calling on all Yoruba, Yoruba nation advocates to mount pressure on Chief Olusegun Obasanjo to tender apology to Yoruba. Yes, it is a different kettle of fish. If we look at the attitude or the nature and characters of some of our traditional rulers, the way they have offered themselves too cheap for political gains or whatever, that is a different kettle of fish. We should not allow that to place a blanket condemnation and ridicule of the Yoruba tradition. So, again, this event has brought to memory the call for review of the powers of the state to appoint and depose traditional rulers in Yoruba land. The governors are too powerful. The governors, they are, even more powerful than the kings, than the traditional rulers. And it is not their fault. It is the fault of the constitution. The constitution even puts the traditional rulers under the, under the local government chairman. I mean, why all this? No traditional ruler can even travel outside his domain without express approval from a council chairman or chairperson. Why? If we want to abolish traditional institutions, please come out and tell us that traditional institutions are abolished. But as long as we want to retain the traditional institutions as the relic and custodian of our history and custom and history and tradition, we have to accord them the due respect and recognition by the Constitution. And to take the liberty of the traditional institution away from the state power is to allow traditional rulers to be elected by popular vote by their communities. I'm not advocating for, abandoning the traditional right. No. What we are saying here is a marriage between tradition and modernity, whereby after consulting Ifa by the kingmakers, the selection processes, and the Ifa produce eligible candidates among the princes, for God's sake, we should amend the constitution or insert it in the constitution that at that level, at that stage, the final appointment should be given to the people. There should be electoral body set up by the kingmakers. The princes vying for the position, the position of their forefathers, should come out to tell the communities, the people they want to rule, what they have in stock. to make, to turn their communities to a modern cities. Then whoever that emerge as duly elected according to the rules and customs set by the people should be it. It is only at that stage that the result of the election should be forwarded to the governor, not the chairman. It is ridiculous that a chairman should be in charge of coordinating, council chairmen. Some of them are not even, they are not, many of them are not somebody. Many of the local government chairmen in Nigeria of today, many of them, you see, although we have very few of them who are very, very responsible and decent people. And we know how many of them even came to power. But result of the election should be forwarded direct to the governor through the state chairman of the traditional council of Obas and Chiefs. The traditional council of Obas and Chiefs should also have input in the election. Maybe they are even the one, depending on the class of the Oba. Any Oba, maybe from third class, second class, and first class. Okay, fine. The other level could be delegated to the local government traditional council of Obas and Chiefs for the purpose of appointment and deposition. And the power to depose any Oba should not be given to governor. It is their people that should have the power to recall. That is how it should be. So it is then that we can put an end to all this nonsense by all these our governors who don't have any out of respect for our traditional institutions. When they are looking for votes, they go there, they beg, they prostrate, they do whatever. But on getting to power, they now turn they turn our fathers to errand boys. So that is the first one.